superpowers only babies have. If you or your close friends or family have babies, you already know how amazing they are. Everything they do, especially when it's for the first time, is a reason for admiration and celebration. First word, let's get the camera so we can record it. First tooth, it has to be photographed and go on Facebook. It gets even better when they learn to crawl, sit, and stand and walk. Fantastic, we know. Some people, however, are a bit skeptical about babies' talents and abilities. How dare they? It doesn't matter if you are Team Go Babies or Team He Can Sit, so what? We have proof that babies have unique and surprising superpowers. More than that, we are sure you will want to have some of them yourself. Sadly, you can't. Brightside is happy to present the list of 10 superpowers only babies have. Number 10. Babies don't cry. We told you you would be surprised, and there you go. You must be thinking, what do you mean? That's literally the only thing they do. But that isn't so. Now, if you are a parent, you know you'd much rather cry yourself than hear our baby do so. Click thumbs up if you know the feeling. You try to find the reason for tears. Wet diapers? Uncomfortable bed? Tummy aches? In this Why Do You Cry, Billy? Quest, you might not see that the baby is crying without tears. In fact, babies scream and moan, but just don't cry. Their tear ducts are closed, so they are unable to produce tears. So, it is common that babies cry without tears for the first weeks or even months of their life. Some babies start crying properly when they are 2 weeks old. For others, it can take up to 7 or 8 months to be able to shed a tear. Isn't that amazing? We believe it is. 9. They feel great underwater. How old were you when you learned to swim? 5? 7? Oh, you are still afraid of being in the middle of a large body of water? Well, in that case, it's too bad you can't get your diving reflex back. Kids love it as they get 6 months old. When a child younger than that is immersed in water tummy down, he naturally holds his breath, and his arms and legs begin to make swimming movements. His heart rate slows so that he can conserve oxygen, and blood circulates between the heart and the brain. A study of 33 healthy infants aged 2 to 6 months has shown that 95.3% of them had that diving reflex. Why can't adults or even slightly older babies do that? Because as we grow up, our brain becomes responsible for survival, and our automatic reflexes, no matter how great they are, don't control us anymore. 8. They swallow and breathe at the same time. There is a common sense rule we all know. Don't eat and talk at the same time, because you will choke, and that is no fun. However, there is a privileged group of people not affected by this rule. They don't talk much. Okay, they don't talk at all, but they have a superpower. They can swallow and breathe at the same time. In infants, the pharynx lies higher than in adults. When they swallow, the entrance to their respiratory tract is not blocked by the epiglottis. Therefore, when swallowing, newborns can also breathe easily. 7. If necessary, babies can sneeze continuously. Sneezing, just like crying, is a matter of concern for parents. Is my baby okay? Did he catch a cold? What happens if he sneezes too much? These questions rush through all parents' minds. We have news for you. Sneezing is not a disaster. It is a natural reflex controlled by the nervous system. Babies use it as a defense against the armies of germs they meet when taken out for a walk or even at home. Aunt Susie and her gifts are a source of joy for you and a chance for the little one to meet new types and kinds of germs. What happens then? The baby sneezes. The nasal passages in newborns are much narrower than in adults. Therefore, they need to be cleaned more often. Since a baby cannot blow his nose, he must use unconditioned reflexes. So a newborn can sneeze without stopping until his nose gets rid of irritants like breast milk, mucus, or dust bunnies. 6. They fall asleep easily. Shh, the baby is sleeping. Have you ever been greeted with this line when visiting a house with a tiny human in it? Or maybe you are the happy parent who just saw the baby fall asleep and don't want him or her to wake up for at least a couple hours? Many people think that when a newborn is asleep, they should tiptoe and talk in the quietest whisper. Young parents are usually perplexed when seeing how their child is sound asleep. ignorant to the sounds of renovation or loud music. Too bad adults don't have this superpower. It would have helped to avoid so many fights with neighbors and would have made sleeping much more sound. Click thumbs up if you wish you had this superpower. But you're halfway through the list. Keep watching to find out what makes babies' hair color change and why they can triple in weight and not get any fatter. 5. They have a natural accent. You probably think babies have their own language we'll never be able to understand. A universal one they can use to communicate with each other secretly. Even if it exists, there is a good chance infants from different countries won't be able to understand each other because of a natural accent they have. Scientists have found out that babies cry with a national accent. Researchers have recorded cries of 60 babies born in German or French families and found they have the same melody as in their native language by the second day of life. They get it in the womb when hearing their mother's voice. There, they learn to recognize sounds, and they cannot only tell their mother's voice from others, but also hear enough details of their parents' language to be able to mimic them. Now that's a linguistic superpower. Some people find it difficult to study a language or get the right melody of it when they are much older and smarter after all. 4. Newborns know how to crawl. Babies give us enough reason for extensive awing. One of the cutest things in the world is probably the breast crawl. It looks better than it sounds. Surprisingly, a newborn baby is fully capable of crawling to his mother's breast. For this, you must put him on his mother's stomach first. According to scientists, infants are attracted by the smell of milk, which lures them. Some experts believe birth attendants should give mom and baby at least an hour to bond and feed before they take care of the baby. This will give him a chance to follow the natural instinct and crawl to his mother's breast and feed as nature has planned it. 3. Babies are very flexible. This is one superpower many of us will envy. The skeleton of a baby has about 300 bones. With age, many of them grow and coalesce into a single whole. So, a grown adult has 206 bones. But before the bones are connected, the body of a newborn is extremely flexible. This natural feature is needed for the baby to pass through the birth canal. 2. Their hairstyle may change drastically. Over time, children's hair can completely change. The fluff with which the baby is born is shed, leaving room for new hair. Because of this, blondes may turn into brunettes, and curls may be replaced by straight strands. What makes hair color change from platinum blonde to hazelnut? It's all because of natural pigment melanin we have in our hair. There are 2 types of it, eumelanin and pheomelanin. The more eumelanin your hair has, the darker it is. Babies are very unlikely to go from brown to blonde hair, but as the amount of eumelanin increases, the opposite happens quite a lot. And sometimes we feel sad about it, don't we? The same can happen with their eye color. Iris, which is the colored part of the eye, has pigmentation that determines the eye color we have. Most babies are born with blue eyes, but rather often, they get darker in the first 3 years when brown pigment melanin develops in them. By the way, children don't always have the same eye color as their parents, but if both parents have brown eyes, they are likely to inherit that color. 1. A baby can triple its weight and not get fat. This superpower is number 1 on our list for a reason. Don't we all wish we had it? Eating and eating and eating and not getting any fatter. Sounds too dreamy, right? In the first year of their life, babies are developing rapidly. During this period, the weight of a baby may triple. However, the child's constitution is not affected in any way because it grows very quickly. From birth to 6 months age, babies normally grow 1/2 to 1 inch and gain 5 to 7 ounces a week. So, they often double their weight by the time they are 5 months old. In between 6 and 12 months of age, babies might grow 3/8 of an inch a month and gain 3 to 5 ounces a week. So, they normally triple their weight by their first anniversary. Feel free to share in the comments which of the superpowers you find the most amazing. And let us know if you like this video. The like button will help you. Join us on the bright side.